Success isn't measured by money or power or social rank. It's nothing but happiness derived from a practice of discipline, the act of giving, and the art of being of use to all. This has been practiced and has helped give me a lot of inner peace and contentment. Success is nothing but the ability to be equanimous in all situations of joy and sorrow, and in honor and in dishonor. Now, these are inevitable in all our professions. I have throughout life used failure not as something that has depressed me, but as a learning and as a stepping stone to success. The gift of wisdom, that there is guidance from Him at every step, has been used in all my efforts and has paid me in multifold ways throughout life. Beginning with extremely loving and supportive parents, brilliant friends, my teachers in school, and a competitive spirit that was generated in college on account of much more intelligent and much more connected budding professionals, and the opportunity to work as an intern as against whiling away my time. All of this has been provided to me on a platter. There was a burning desire within me to learn, to apply, to earn and be of tremendous use to all. I was extremely lucky to find a mentor who had qualities of living and letting live to the fullest. The inspiring and motivating environment created by this master, by his sheer presence, and the love and effort that a large number of my senior colleagues put in towards my evolution, it helped me learn a lot of skills that were absolutely invaluable and have been with me till date. An unparalleled design exposure, hard work, sincerity, fortitude, and empathy were developed by just seeing these guys. Society, I realized, is nothing but a congregation of people, and hence a prosperous society is nothing but people as a part of nature living together in happiness, in love, in contentment, on account of an overall abundance that one strives to create. A cooperative endeavor is the mother of all success in society, where each one of us contributes towards an overall prosperity. I was extremely blessed to have had the opportunity to contribute to large and impactful projects. This changed very positively and enhanced the spaces and the facilities that we created. And this contributed to both material gains and, more importantly, to a happiness quotient within all stakeholders involved. Beginning with the client and their representatives, to the colleagues, contracting agencies, with all the labor force that was their backbone, all our suppliers, and eventually all the beneficiaries. This chain was never broken by God's grace, and I was happy to be a humble contributor who never created any diversion to disturb this smooth process. As a reward, I was always in the company of an excellent and supportive family, great friends, brilliant colleagues, extremely benevolent clients, and extremely efficient vendors and execution agencies. The projects completed so far as a result of our hard work are a testimonial and a tribute to this spirit that I have tried to live so far. The pandemic, no doubt severe in its effects that we see, if one looks at it, it is nothing but a teacher with a message and learning for us to wake up and be more kind and considerate to nature as a whole with all its components. We need to develop tolerance, love, compassion, mercy, and above all, faith and devotion. These are abilities which we need to create in us and look at every single challenge as an opportunity. We will need to mold ourselves to think completely out of the box to create solutions for every unknown problem that we are going to encounter. This is currently unpredictable, and hence living in the present with no anxiety whatsoever about the future and no regrets of the past. Of course, there will be learnings from the past, which one has to, but this, I believe, is going to be a formula for our happy existence. We will recognize that we are in constant change and flux, and we'll need to make ourselves strong and resilient to be able to be of use to everyone around us. We will need to support all initiatives and work as a part of a think tank that works towards both urban and rural growth. With all this migration that has happened, we'll need to take into account rural growth as well. Infrastructure, we have seen in history, is best built in worst times. This cannot be without the support of labor, that is the backbone of all construction and of all industrial activity. We will need to enhance our ability to love, respect, and honor in action our labor fraternity. We'll have to woo them back. We will all need to shed some amount of selfishness, obviously in methods best known to each one of us individually, and do our best and act as an example to make others who we influence follow. There's a large number of opportunities which I feel will start showing up. Roads, affordable housing, large number of educational institutes both here as well as in rural backgrounds, medical facilities, women empowerment, industrial architecture towards new industries that create a new balance, flexibility and design towards use of spaces in multiple ways to be able to change function. Now, indigenous development, promoting the Make in India with a healthy import and export balance will need to be addressed. When I say a healthy import and export balance, what I mean by it is that the locals materials that we use have to be done not only for our own consumption, but we must make them in such a way that people are good to use some of those abroad as well. Likewise, we keep on supporting what we've been doing by importing whatever we've imported. One doesn't put an end to this completely. Working from home is going to create a large number of homes. A large number of companies like TCS and other IT companies have announced work from home. While this means commercial spaces will not be needed as much, residential spaces which are more than double of what a guy would need on a workstation are going to be used much more. So we need to work towards making homes multi-purpose. We'll need to be extremely prompt, creative and flexible in our approach towards innovative design. Use of technology which has sprung up, we'll need to adapt to. We'll have to expedite as architects and smoothen a drawing and documentation release. That is where we'll be of tremendous use. We need to upgrade our own work from home and office skills and create a kind of a balance and discipline within ourselves to benefit our families who are currently bearing either the brunt or privilege, whatever you call it, of our constant company. As catalysts, we will need to motivate clients, suppliers, contracting agencies and our labor force, after obviously following safety and hygiene measures, to coexist well and create a formula for successful and timely work execution and completion. This will obviously be in response to all arriving needs. There is no reason for us to panic and apply and support unnecessary practices that may spring up, using the pandemic as an excuse and considering it to be permanent. Humans, all of us, by virtue of our restless nature, will never sit idle. All need to come together to salute nature and Mother Earth for sending us a powerful signal to fall in line with our true nature and our true goal by participation in productive action and by performing our duties to perfection as good human beings and as excellent professionals. Thank you and God bless.